Members, good afternoon. It's the appointed time of the House Committee. We have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. Item number 1, matters arising. The Chief Secretary said that the Chief Executive's interactive exchange question and answer session was conducted yesterday. The Chief Executive has heard members' views and suggestions on deepening international exchange and cooperation and expediting the development of the Northern Metropolis. These views and suggestions help Hong Kong perform the roles of a super connector and super value adder, carry out the task in the Hong Kong and Macau chapter of the State Council Work Report, and how to speed up the Northern Metropolis development for safe flow of people, goods, capital, and data. Item 2, Legal Service Division Report on Subsidiary Legislation. We will deal with 31 items of subsidiary legislation. First is they are the subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 23rd of May 2025, paper number LS52 of 2025. There are 31 items. Legal Advisor. Thank you. I will present these items batch by batch. First, 2 items, namely LN81 and LN87. They are there to amend Schedule 16 of the Air Navigation Hong Kong Order 1995 as well as relevant regulations. The effect is that in relation to the latest requirements in relation to dangerous goods that may be carried on an aircraft to be incorporated into our legislation. The panel on economic development was consulted on the 1st of April. The 2 items will come into operation on the 18th of July 2025. We have made some inquiries of the administration. For details, please refer to paragraph 4. Subject to members' views, we have not identified any legal or drafting issues in relation to the 2 items. That's my report for LN81 and 87. Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee on the 2 items of subsidiary legislation? If so, please raise your hands. Mr. Chen Siu-hong, Ms. Elizabeth Kwok, and Mr. Andrew Lam. We have more than 3 members. I asked the clerk to jot down their names and also circulate a paper. Legal Advisor. I'll now speak on 4 items, namely LN82 to 84 and LN111. First, LN82. The aim is to amend the Small Unmanned Aircraft Order to expand the current regulatory regime to include a flight having a weight not exceeding 150 kilograms but exceeding 25 kilograms. The main points are in relation to the operators of this aircraft and all small unmanned aircraft will have to obtain a permission of the DG. In relation to LN83, it is made by the CE Council for the permission of trials of unconventional aircraft in Hong Kong. Please refer to paragraphs 8 and 9. In December, the panel on economic development was consulted. Members expressed their support. We're looking into the drafting and legal aspects of the two items. If necessary, we will submit a further report. The purpose of LN84 is to amend the Hong Kong Civil Aviation Investigation of Accidents Amendment Regulation 2024. The effect is to put in place a Schedule 13 of the aviation of the Convention on International Air Aviation. LN84 also includes a textual error. It will come into operation on the 18th of July. LN111 is to appoint the 25th of July as the day on which the LN164, that is in relation to the Regulation 2024, to come into operation. All these are to regulate small unmanned aircraft as well as the trial of unconventional aircraft. That's my report for the legal notices. Members, in relation to the 4 items, anyone who would like to set up a subcommittee, if so, please raise your hands. Mr. Low Wai Kwok, Ms. Elizabeth Kwok, Professor William Wong. We have more than 3 members. Please record their names and circulate a paper. Legal advisor, please. I'll now speak on 2 items, LN 85 and 86. LN 85 aims to amend the Road Tunnel Government Ordinance in relation to 2 new government tunnels, namely the Central Kowloon Bypass Yamate Section Tunnel and Central Kowloon Bypass Kowloon Bay Section Tunnel, to be completed at the end of this year and next year, so that relevant requirements were applied to these 2 sections. LN 85 is to amend the regulation to provide for the removal fees as well as permit fees as well as some regulatory matters. That is in relation to LN 86. Please refer to paragraphs 19 and 20. In March, an information paper was given to members. Members did not raise any issues. These 2 items will come into operation on the 17th of July. We have not identified any legal or drafting issues. So that's in relation to LN 85 and 86. Thank you. In relation to the 2 items, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. If not, legal advisor, please continue. I'll now speak on 4 items, namely LN 89 to 92. They are in relation to the registration of intellectual property as well as proceedings. First, LN 89. This is to amend the High Court Ordinance to repeal proceedings in relation to trademarks as well as patents to provide for the new arrangements. There is a new order added that in relation to proceedings relating to registered designs. So the purpose of 89 and 90 is to amend the rules in relation to patents, trademark, as well as design in relation to the registrations and legal matters in relation to these matters. Please refer to paragraphs 24 to 29. In November, an information paper was submitted to the panel on commerce, industry, innovation, and technology. No, there was no request for discussion. These 2 items will come into operation on the 1st of October. We're looking into legal and drafting issues into these notices. If necessary, we will submit a further report. The 4 notices aims to improve the proceedings in relation to intellectual property rights. Members may set up a subcommittee. That's my report for LN 89 to 92. Thank you. In relation to the legal notices, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. No. Please continue, legal advisor. I will now speak on 4 subsidiary legislation, namely LN 94 to 97, 4 items. They are in relation to the onboarding of the 7th batch of MPF to join the eMPF platform. First, LN 94. It aims to specify the 1st of August and the 3rd of September as the material day on which trustees must begin to use the eMPF platform to perform their functions. In relation to LN 95 to 97, it is to specify that the 1st of November and the 3rd of December are the material days in relation to the constitution funds for the setting of fees as well as reduction of costs. Please refer to paragraphs 34 to 38. We have not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. So that's my report for LN 94 to 97. Thank you. In relation to the notices, Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. If not, legal advisor, please continue. Next is LN 98-106. The purpose of the 9 notices is to implement 3 international conventions in relation to the latest requirements. There are 9 pieces of legislation that needs to be amended. They are in relation to report of loss of freight, installation and test of certain parts, requirements in relation to fire and explosion, new requirements in relation to navigation in polar waters, as well as the setting of penalties in relation to certain offences. Please refer to paragraphs 42 to 45. In December, the Economic Development Panel was consulted. Members in general supported the proposal. In relation to LN 98-104, they will come into operation on the 1st of January 2026. 105 will come into operation on the 1st of August, and 106 will come into operation on the 1st of October. We have made inquiries in relation to the 3 new offences. For details, please refer to paragraph 46. Subject to further comments to the reply of the administrations, we have not identified any legal and drafting difficulties. Now, that's my report for LN 98-106. So in relation to these items, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. No. Please continue, legal advisor. I now speak on 4 items, that is LN 107 to LN 110. The 4 items are to support the implementation of regulatory regimes in relation to clinics, scheduled clinics, and small practices under the Private Healthcare Facilities Ordinance. First, LN 1110. This is to specify that the 13th of October this year will be the commencement date of provision relating to licenses as well as exemptions. Please refer to paragraphs 57 to 58. In relation to LN 107, it aims to amend Schedule 6 to delete 21 scheduled clinics that have ceased to operate. This will come into operation on the 13th of October. LN 108, the aim is that in relation to clinics operating on the 30th of November 2018, that between the 13th of October 2025 and the 13th of April 2026, these clinics will have to make an application, and if conditions are met, the Director of Health will have to issue a provisional license. Please refer to paragraph 63. This will come into operation on the 13th of October. The last item is LN 109. This is also a commencement notice. The aim is to specify the 13th of October 2025 to be the commencement day of 3 provisions in relation to Dentist Registration Amendment Ordinance 2025. This is to repeal references in relation to dental companies. We don't want the term to overlap with dental clinics. Please refer to paragraphs 65 and 66. In November, the panel on health services was briefed. Members discussed a number of issues. We have not identified any drafting or difficulties in relation to LN 107, 108, and 1110. We have asked some questions in relation to LN 109. We're waiting for an answer. We'll give you a further report if necessary. That's my report for these items. So, LN 107 to 110. Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. If not, legal advisor, please continue. Next is item One item, LN 88. This is to amend the Public Health and Municipal Services Ordinance to include gardens of remembrance of the Sandy Ridge and Sheikh Moon. The management of these gardens will be managed by the Director of Food and Environmental Hygiene. This will come into operation on the 18th of July. We have not identified any drafting or legal difficulties. So this is in relation to LN 88. Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. No, please continue. This is the last item, LN 93. This is to specify that 25 libraries, museums, and archives for the purpose of exemption from the prohibition of possession of an infringing copy of copyright works. For details, please refer to paragraph 75 to 77. We have in March supplied information paper to the Commerce, Industry, Innovation and Technology panel. There was no request for discussion. This will come into operation on the 18th of July 2025. We have not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. That's my report. Thank you. So in relation to LN 93, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. If not, let me remind members that in relation to the 31 items of subsidiary legislation, the period of amendment expires at the council meeting of the 25th of June. If there is a resolution to extend, the deadline will be extended to the 16th of July.
Third item, business for the council meeting of the 4th of June 2025. The latest agenda of the council meeting on next Wednesday include first question, and then we have resumption of second reading debate of one bill, that is the Banking Amendment Bill 2025. There's one government motion, that is the proposed resolution under Article 73(7) of the Basic Law and Section 7A of the Hong Kong Court of Final Appeal Ordinance relating to the appointment of a judge of a Hong Kong Court of Final Appeal from another common law jurisdiction to be moved by the Chief Secretary for Administration. Then we have two motions carried forward from the last meeting, that is first, motion on reviewing the development strategy for public markets to be moved by Mr. Yang Wen-kit, and motion on establishing a top-level dedicated structure to devise a population policy to be moved by Dr. Lo Wai-kwok. Apart from these items, Report number 12, Session 25 of the House Committee on Consideration of Subsidiary Legislation and Other Instruments will be laid on the table of the Council. The report sets out 5 pieces of subsidiary legislation with deadline for amendment on the day of the next Council meeting. No member indicated that they wish to speak on the amendment. Item 4 on the agenda, business for the Council meeting on the 11th of June 2025. First question. The list of members who have an allocated slot has been uploaded onto the electrical website. B. Government bill. First reading and second reading debate to be adjourned. No notice has been received yet. C. Government bills. Second reading debate to resume consideration by committee of the whole council, and third reading. We have 3 government bills that will receive second reading debate that day. First, Building Energy Efficiency Amendment Bill 2025. Second, Housing Amendment Bill 2025. And third, Road Traffic Amendment Bill 2025. Reports have been made by the relevant bills committees to the House Committee on the 16th and 23rd of May. D. Government motion. The Secretary has not received any notice yet. And then we have members' motion. First, motion on comprehensively promoting healthcare financing reform and making optimal use of public and private healthcare resources to be moved by Dr. David Lam. The motion was originally scheduled for the council meeting of the 28th of May 2025. Wordings of the motion has been uploaded onto the electrical website. And then we have a motion on stimulating the vigorous development of Hong Kong small and medium enterprises with new quality protective forces and actively dovetailing with the country's high-quality going global strategy to be moved by Mr. Sunny Tan. Wordings of the motion have been uploaded onto the electoral websites. Deadline for giving notice to amendment is the 4th of June. The 4th of June, that's a Wednesday. Item 5 on the agenda, positions on bills committees and subcommittees. As at the 29th of May, Thursday, there are in action 11 bills committee, 8 subcommittees under House committee, and 3 panels on policy matters under panel. On the waiting list, there are 4 subcommittees on policy matters. Item 6 on the agenda, any other business. There being no other business, meeting adjourned. Thank you.